The turbulence was violent, like the air itself wanted them gone. Passengers screamed. The oxygen masks dropped. Too late. Lightning crackled across the windows, bright as a camera flash. She tightened the straps on the handcuffed man beside her. He looked calm. Too calm. "It's always the last flight," he muttered. Suddenly, a deafening boom. Then blackness. Gravity shifted. Screams blurred. The tail ripped away. Her body slammed against the ceiling, then the floor. And then, nothing. Just the sound of waves and wind. She woke up face down in wet sand, blood in her mouth. The plane was split open, its body scattered along a black beach. Smoke rose in lazy spirals. No rescue. No signals. She checked the prisoner first. Still breathing, still cuffed. Others moaned, cried, crawled from wreckage like ghosts. A piece of fuselage stood upright in the jungle, as if placed. Her radio was dead. The satellite phone melted. Then she noticed the horizon, flat in all directions. No other land. The island wasn't on the flight map, and the compass spun in circles. They moved inland, trying to escape the rising tide. The jungle was dense, too quiet. Not even birds. She spotted marks on the trees. Symbols burned, not carved. The prisoner stopped. "Way shouldn't be here," he whispered. "Where is he here?" she asked. No answer. One of the survivors, the co-pilot, wandered off alone. They found his clothes neatly folded near a creek, but no footprints led away. And behind one tree, eyes blinked, then vanished. They weren't alone, and they never had been. They built a fire, not for warmth, but for sanity. The jungle pressed in from all sides, breathing with the night. She counted heads again, one less than before. "Hey, was just here," someone whispered. Hey didn't walk off. The shadows flickered, moved. Gee, one stretched without a source. "Don't stare too long," the prisoner warned. "That's how it starts?" She asked him what he meant, but he just closed his eyes. Then from deep in the trees, her brother's voice. "I'm alive," it called. "Come find me." But her brother died 5 years ago in a crash just like this. She followed the voice against her better judgment. The jungle opened into a clearing made of glass? Shards stood like trees, mirrors that didn't match her movement. In one reflection, she was burned. In another, smiling and unscarred. She stepped forward, and one reflection turned its head independently. It spoke. "You crushed before. Don't you remember?" She stumbled back, heart racing. Behind her, a reflection of the prisoner, eyes black, grinning. She shattered the glass with a scream, and when she turned around, the clearing was gone. She ran until her breath burned and found an altar. Plain pieces formed a twisted throne. Candles burned with no fire. Bones, human, circled the site like offerings. A pair of wings from another airline lay beneath it, aged, rusted. She recognized the logo. Her brother's crash. Different flight. Doctor. Same island. She dropped to her knees. "No." The prisoner appeared beside her, calm as ever. "They don't crash us," he said. "They collect us." She backed away. "What are you?" He smiled, and his shadow stepped away from him. They tried to leave the altar behind, but the jungle changed. The trees twisted into new paths. The sun never moved. They found watches hanging from branches. Dozens. All stopped. Different hours. Different dates. One showed her brother's time of death, to the second. Another displayed tomorrow's date, blinking. "Time's broken here," someone said. "It resets for the ones they keep." She checked her own watch. It spun wildly, then stopped. Midnight. Dot. And everything around her went completely silent. She found it in the clearing. A cockpit. Alone. Vines strangled the glass, but inside, the uniform was unmistakable. Her brother's airline, his badge, his bones. She opened the hatch. Dust rose like breath. The flight log sat in his lap, pages burned. One word was scrolled in blood: awake. A voice whispered over the intercom, static and sorrow. You left me, but now you're here too. Ah. Tears burned her eyes, but she couldn't look away. Then, a click behind her. The prisoner had followed. He said nothing, just pointed to the water below. The surface shimmered with moonlight, but no stars above. She stepped closer. The water rippled, then reflected them. The dead passengers, all of them, walking, watching. One reached out, through the reflection. She backed away, heart pounding. What is this place? The prisoner finally spoke. A threshold. Between what? She asked. He looked up, and the stars above rearranged themselves. Between who you were and who they'll let you become. In door. It all. They reached the back side of the island, sheer cliffs and stone. There, carved into the rock, names, hundreds, some ancient, some recent. Her hand trembled as she traced her brother's name. Beneath it, in fresh cuts, was her own, still wet, still bleeding. It knew you were coming, the prisoner said. Why me? She asked. Because you buried truth, and now it wants confession. The cliff echoed her thoughts back, but not in her voice. The prisoner led her to a shrine, built from black boxes. Flight recorders, torn from metal, formed a circle in the dirt. The boxes glowed faint orange, looping the final screams of past flights. She knelt. The whispers grew louder. Ash rose from the earth and twisted into her brother's face. You knew the plane was faulty, he said. She broke down. I didn't think it would crash. I didn't think. You buried the report, the voice continued. And I paid for it. It wasn't just tragedy. It was consequence. And now the island demanded her truth, or her life. She walked into the ocean as the sky split with lightning. The water glowed, unnatural, pulsing beneath her steps. Silhouettes rose around her. The vanished. The chosen. They didn't speak. They didn't have to. Each held a piece of the plane. Each showed her what they'd lost. The prisoner stood on the shore, silent, waiting. She turned to the sea and whispered everything. The report. The silence. The guilt. The island listened. And when she opened her eyes, the water had swallowed the others. But she remained, soaked, gasping, and free. The jungle lit itself ablaze, one tree at a time. Inside the fire, shapes twisted. Faces she remembered. They were undying. They were re-becoming. Cow. This is the purge, the prisoner said. The island cleans itself. She turned to him. What are you really? He smiled, firelight dancing in his eyes. I was the first, he said. The only one who stayed by choice. So they made me a guide. And now, you choose. He pointed toward the wreckage, where the last survivors waited. 10, or you. Ain. Ow. She stood hidden in the trees, watching the last survivors sleep. They had no idea what the island was, or what it wanted. Each carried guilt. These days. Regrets. The island wasn't punishing them, it was weighing them. She clutched the recorder from her brother's plane. The prisoner appeared beside her, silent as a breath. "Only one walks free," he whispered, "unless you take their place." She looked down at her hands, cracked with glowing scars. She was already part of it. Half gone, half memory, and the choice had to come before sunrise. The chopper came at first light, low, confused, off course. They signaled it with mirrors and fire. One survivor was chosen by lottery. Pure chance, or maybe not. As the blades roared, she stepped back into the trees. The prisoner stood behind her, waiting. "It's done," he said. She watched the helicopter lift off, the jungle shrinking below. But on the horizon, the island didn't disappear. It watched, just as it always had. And she whispered, "I'm not done either." The prisoner led her to one final place, the origin. A cave beneath the jungle, untouched by wind or time. Walls covered in names, drawn in ash, some thousands of years old. And yet, there were open spaces, still waiting. He handed her the charcoal. She carved her name, not the one on her badge, but her Roy True one. The cave pulsed gently, as if breathing her in. The prisoner nodded. "Now it knows you." She turned to him. "And what happens to you?" He smiled. "I'm finally done." And then he was gone. Seasons passed, or maybe hours. Time no longer mattered. She walked the shore, no longer searching but waiting. And then, wreckage on the horizon. A wing, a flotation seat, a voice crying for help. The island had chosen again. She moved toward the water, calm now. She was no longer a passenger, no longer a victim. The jungle behind her rustled, aware, alive. She whispered to the waves, "I am here." And the wind carried her name across the trees. From above, the island still hides beneath clouds and storms. It doesn't appear on maps. It never did. But planes still fly near it. Some get too close. And when they do, the lightning strikes just once. Rescue teams never find the wreckage. Only whispers, static, ghost signals on black box recordings. And sometimes, a voice. Carmen Doss. Clear. Tar. Female Dorothy. This is Echo 1. I'm still here. The island keeps what it needs. And now, it has her.